Fitglow Beauty is a brand I've talked a lot about on my channel and my Instagram over the years. I have been one of the biggest fans of them for a very long time. Now I do work with the brand and I have a coupon code, and they've told me that they're going to give me an exclusive 30% off discount code from July 6th to the 12th. So you can use my code 30KIT, spelled 30KIT, from July 6th to the 12th and get 30% off your order.
Hello from New York. I have a correction on the dates. It's actually July 6th to the 22nd.
It is an affiliate code, so if you make a purchase, I will earn a small commission from your order, so just want to have that disclosure. And you know, I've had so many reviews about Fitglow over the years, just in bits and pieces of videos around the internet, and I figured it was time to actually sit down and review every single product I've ever tried from the brand. That way you can have everything in one place as a reference point for prices, formulas, colors, you know, swatches and application footage and all that jazz, plus a lot about the brand. This is one of the brands that I think has like some of the most comprehensive philosophy behind the brand. So I have a lot of information to share with you. There are also pros and cons to the brand that I'll share. So if you want to just get right into the reviews, I'll leave timestamps below. That way you can just skip on ahead to what you're looking for. But let's just get started with, you know, what the brand is all about, their formulas, prices, brand experience, philosophy, and all that. And to kick off this section, I want to give a brief disclosure that I've worked with the brand on and off for years. So they do have a soft spot in my heart. I've even had phone calls with the founder where she's asked me to be transparent and give my feedback on products and different experiences on the consumer end. And what's cool about that is Fitglow is really the only brand that I feel fully values my honest feedback. And that's really important to me because despite the nice relationship that I have with the founder and the whole team, they don't make me water down what I'm saying, both in my content and in our private conversations. You know, when I've had calls with them, I've been super honest about certain things that I don't like, that I think they should change for a better consumer experience. You know, we'll go back and forth. They'll tell me why they can't do certain things, or they'll tell me, you know, that's a great idea. We'll start looking into it. So I have had a really great relationship with them, one in which I feel my perspective, both as a huge fan and a consumer before I ever became a content creator, and now as a content creator, has been very valued, and I've been able to be very transparent about it. But I did just want to share that I have a bit of a relationship with the brand, just in case that's something that you'd be concerned about. But as always, I'm honest as hell here, and I'm certainly going to give you all my honest thoughts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So first of all, Fitglow is a small, independent, woman-owned and woman-led company. The founder, Anna, is from Poland and then spent a lot of time in Canada and now lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where they're based. They collaborate with organizations like Arbor Day Foundation, Save the Manatees, Style Saves, Animal Rescue Missions, local women's shelters, Save the Children, and global charities that help refugees and children. Now, I think that's amazing. I don't know how they collaborate or partner with them. There aren't any disclosures about like if they donate money or what they're doing, or if a portion of sales go to a certain charity. I'm not sure. This is just what I have on the website. Their formulas contain ethically sourced plant ingredients. That's kind of their whole like basic philosophy behind formulas. And a lot of times I like to think about it as products across skincare, makeup, and body care that are always skincare first. And when it comes to makeup, then it's skincare with mineral pigments. Something great is that every order over $30 will get deluxe samples, and Fitglow is very, very generous with their samples. They will send you like, you know, a couple mini lip serums, a mini lip liner, mini eyeliner, little skincare samples. Like, they are very generous with the samples. So their orders always go a really long way. And what's great is you can always use my permanent coupon code, which is KATE20, for 20% off your order. It's always active. You can use it as many times as you want. So that's a great cost saving benefit. They also have tons of like bundles and kits that you can find on the website. They're constantly having sales, constantly like every few months having big promo codes because their products are quite expensive. They also have a point system, kind of like Sephora, where each product and each purchase earns you points towards your next order. And they have a shade matching assistance if you need a little help there. Something I saw on the website that was cool is they thoroughly test products in multi-climate testing, from cold, dry climate in Canada to hot, humid Florida, and activities such as running, snorkeling, paddleboarding, work, life, gym sessions, and everyday mundane tasks, emotional up and downs, and everything in between. I thought that was really cool. I don't know, I've never heard a brand communicate like how they test products in that way, and that really connected with me. They're also dermatologist tested, Leaping Bunny certified cruelty-free. They're ethically made in small batches. They have forever recyclable aluminum packaging, and they have a commitment to reduce virgin plastic by 95% by year 2030. They have innovative, refillable formulas to reduce product waste and carbon footprint. They are dedicated to turning trash into beauty with post-consumer recycled plastic and sugarcane packaging. And lastly, the founder has ultra sensitive skin and rosacea, so all of her products have to pass the sensitive skin test. One of the many reasons why I love the brand, since I have extraordinarily sensitive skin. I pulled this little section from the website. This is just a little bit more about Anna and her particular relationship with products and skincare especially. She found products in the green beauty space that were really upsetting her skin and her rosacea because they had a lot of essential oils, a lot of waxes and unstable active ingredients that she found in the formulas. So that's why she wanted to create Fitglow Beauty as a brand in the more conscious, ethical, conscious beauty space that was safe for sensitive skin. But she also wanted it to be rich in proven bioactives, and she wanted all of it to be plant-based, but based in science, which I thought was really cool. Every single product has like an insane amount of research behind it. When I talk with Anna, she will just go on and on and on and on about the formulas and the science behind every product, the massive backstory behind every single decision from the brand, from what packaging they use, what material they use, how every single ingredient serves a purpose. It's a very thoughtful company, and I think that's why I've connected with it so much throughout the years. But their formulas and the performance of their formulas actually match that. For me, I was so excited when I found Gen C, for example, as a brand, and they had very similar philosophies, but I tried their products and unfortunately I didn't really find anything that I liked. They didn't work out for me. It just wasn't a match. But with Fitglow, I feel like there's both that thoughtfulness and also they stand alone in the market. If you didn't have any of the clean beauty stuff, if you didn't have any of the, thoughtfulness behind all the ingredients and the packaging and all that, their formulas would still stand out in a very overly saturated beauty space as being innovative and standout products to me. And so that's one of the reasons why I do love them so much. Now, let's talk about some cons. Obviously, the first one people are going to think about, their products are very expensive. And, for the lip serums, they're $42. I think when people hear a lip gloss for $42, they're like, are you kidding me? I have gotten so many comments and messages throughout the years from people being like, you're a bad person for promoting a $42 product. But what's interesting about that is they don't say that about Dior or Chanel or Hourglass. I've never gotten a comment like, that's too expensive from a luxury brand like that, only from brands that don't have much of a brand recognition around the world globally. And for me, I would way rather pay more money for better formulas that are more innovative, that are more like skincare and science-based versus paying like for YSL because of the packaging and the brand name. So it kind of just depends on what your priorities are. Like I mentioned before, they do have a lot of ways you can save money, both with coupon codes, lots of promos, deluxe samples, tons of kits and bundles and sales. Like they do try to kind of offset that a little bit because they're aware that that's a little bit of a barrier to entry for a lot of consumers. My biggest complaint about the brand, which is something I've been very, very transparent with them about, is the fact that they do not allow you to return opened or used products. Even if you didn't use it, if you opened it, you cannot return it. And so that is the point I want to drive home. I've had people be like, Kate, I placed this massive Fitglow order and then I found out that I can't return any of the products and none of them matched me and now I'm super angry. And, always look at the website first before you make an order. But I also just wanted to mention that so it's not a surprising thing. And the way that they've communicated to me in this choice is they're a very, very small independent brand. They don't have a lot of like funding or anything. And they are also never going to be in like huge retailers. I think they're in Detox Market and maybe Credo. They're never going to be in like an Ulta or a Sephora or something like that. They want to remain very small because they want total creative control over all of their products and every single decision. And what ended up happening when they had a return policy was that people just started basically placing massive orders, trying products, and then returning all of them. Or they told me people would place orders and they would use up like half the product over the course of a few months and then try to return it and like have a big issue with returning those products, losing money and all that stuff. And they also have a super strong commitment to reducing waste and their impact on the environment and their carbon footprint. And so when you return opened or used products, those products go straight in the trash. Some companies have exceptions for that and they do try to find ways to upcycle it. Like if it's a Sephora, some Sephoras will take used samples and they will then use those as testers, but obviously not in the case of small independent brand with no brick and mortar store. The next con for me is that a lot of their products, I don't like the packaging. I don't like the way that it aesthetically looks. I can get on board with it feeling a little cheap or like a little dinky because I do know that there's a purpose behind that, and that's so everything can be recyclable. And for that, hats off. I think that's where the beauty industry should go, and I'm totally on board with it. I can get on board with that. But I just don't like when it's designed in a way that kind of like looks like clean beauty, you know, like thinking of like something that would have been on the shelf in Whole Foods years ago. So I do think there's a little room for improvement there, but they have been launching products now more recently that have a little bit more of an upscale aesthetic. They've started making packages that instead of having these like big floral prints are a little bit more understated and minimal. And that's what I personally connect with as a consumer, but obviously everybody's different. Everybody thinks about packaging and aesthetics in a different way. And my last issue that I have had with the brand is, you know, they're very limited in the minis that they offer. You can buy mini products. So for example, their night lip serum, which retails for $48, you can get that as a mini for $12, but they don't have minis where it counts, at least not that I saw on the website today. And I'm talking about foundation and concealer. I think it's very important. If I could change the beauty industry, I would require every brand to have a blister pack for foundation and concealer where you can try every shade, or at least you can buy minis. Now they've told me, I think they don't have blister packs, which are those little like, you know, the point perks at Sephora where you can just like pull back the tab and there's like a little bit of concealer underneath. That's a blister pack. They've said to me, I think when it comes to blister packs, that because their products are plant-based and natural, they don't have a way of making those blister packs stable. And then also they don't sell minis for things like foundation, concealer, etc., because developing the component for that would create more waste versus something like their refillable palettes. Those are for eyes, face, cheeks, lips, everything. They keep them one size to reduce the amount of packaging they have to have. I don't really know how that works fully, but that's just what they've communicated to me. Okay, let's get into the makeup. And I don't know, can you guess what my favorite product is gonna be? It's a toss-up between two for you guys, I'm sure. It is the Fitglow Conceal Plus. This is $42. It's by far my favorite concealer. Nothing has ever come close to this concealer. And in my over 4 years on YouTube, I have tried a boatload of concealers. It comes in 18 very beautiful, evenly distributed shades that go from very, very light to very, very deep. Lovely shade range with lots of variations in the undertones in that shade range. This is very special for a few reasons, but I'm gonna tell you, some people have purchased this concealer based on my reviews and been like, Kate, it's super thick. This was a creasy disaster. And there is a specific way that I think you should use it. People are so used to, at this point, like very thin, stretchable, blendable concealers. People are also very used to doing the technique where you like draw a full triangle under your eyes. If you do that with this, it's gonna be a total disaster. This is a very, very thick formula and it's tacky. So a lot of people just want something like super soft and stretchable and blendable that they can just blend out in the second. I want the opposite of that. I want a concealer that's gonna be tacky. It's full coverage. It has a blurring finish. It's the same ingredients in their eye cream are in this concealer as well as their mineral pigments. And in fact, I feel like since I have been shooting content, I need a little bit more. So I'm just gonna apply some. You barely need any concealer. Like this is tacky. So if you see how if I go like this, it doesn't like blend all the way out. It just stays right where you put it, which really helps it to look like skin because it is a full coverage concealer. If you were just to do the whole triangle application method, it would look like you blanked out your entire face because it is very full coverage. And because it's thicker and it's tackier, you would run the risk of having a lot of creases. So if you use a very light hand with this concealer, a little bit goes an extraordinarily long way. I even could have used less than I just used, which is great because since the price point is $42, you don't want to be using a ton of concealer anyways, and it minimizes the amount of times that you have to repurchase it. So if you're someone that struggles with dark circles or hollowness, this is going to be great at covering it up because it's going to be tacky and it's going to stay right where you put that coverage. It's going to keep that full coverage. But if you're looking for something super blendable that you can use all over your face as a foundation, this is not it. Because it's tacky, it's very hard to spread out. So I would not use it as an all over the face kind of concealer. It is great for blemishes though, because it's so full coverage and tacky. A lot of times with blemishes, you want some something tacky that's gonna stick to the spot, if I use a full coverage concealer on a blemish that's like really slip slidey, then that coverage just kind of slides away as I'm going about my day, or even as I'm blending it out. On blemishes, I really want concealer to stick. So it's great for under eyes and it is great for blemishes. It's also antibacterial, which is awesome because if you do have this wand and you're applying it on your skin, it's really nice to know that it's antibacterial and it's not going to clog your pores or anything like that. This is a forever favorite, a forever repurchase for me. Could not even try to conceptualize how many tubes I've gone through at this point. It's my number one concealer. Nothing has ever come close. Nothing ever will come close. It's my number one pick from the brand. Love it. Love it. Can't say enough good things about it. Next, I have the Night Lip Serum, which I have been through like 15 plus night lip serums in my over 4 years on YouTube. Those retail for $48, or you can get a mini on the website for $12 if you want to try it before you buy. Now you might wonder why the lip color serums are a little bit less expensive than the night lip serum. And that's because the night lip serum is enriched with ceramides, so there is some extra skincare benefits in the night one, which is the clear one, and that's why it has a little bit of a higher price point. The lip serums, they're so good. Ah! Oh no, we'll come back. Oh no. Okay. These are one of the most innovative formulas I have ever tried in my life. They're so good. They are, like I said, this thick, plush, gel-like formula that coats the lips. But since I've already explained the texture and the experience of them, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the ingredients in these. So the lip color serums are $42. They come in a whopping 25 shades, which is incredible for a lip shade range from a very small independent brand. They have organic pomegranate plant sterols, beet extract, vegetable collagen, and antioxidants to improve lip structure, diminish the look of fine lines, and leave lips soft, full, and plump naturally. These really do just totally condition and nourish and hydrate the lips. They're amazing. Like truly, there is nothing else that I've ever tried that is quite like this. I can absolutely wear these when my lips are super chapped and my lips will be better because of it. If you don't know, I have a massive Fitglow lip serum video where I applied, compared, and reviewed and swatched every single shade from the Fitglow lip serums. Now, there are a couple that they've launched since that video that obviously are not in that video. There are also some in that video that have since been discontinued, so it's not every shade right now, but it is the majority of them, and I'll leave that linked on the screen above. Not only did I apply all the shades, but I also swatched all of them on my arm and organize them by color category, because since there are so many shades, a lot of them can look a little bit similar. So I have that resource for you. And also follow them on Instagram. They are constantly swatching on their stories, and they use models with 3 different skin tones, light, medium, and deep. And so you can see how the shades look on different skin tones on real skin in natural lighting. It is like, finally, someone is doing this. It's what I wish every brand would do to help consumers understand what the colors are gonna look like on, their complexion. Fitglow just really gets the lip formulas right. The lip liners, in my opinion, are criminally underrated. These are the vegan lip liners, they're $24. They come in, I think, 5 shades. Nude and buff are the only ones I kept, but they have a red, a pink, and root as well, which is that really deep, dark kind of like brown mauve red shade. But I just like to keep very natural lip liner shades. The one that I'm wearing all over my lips today is the shade Nude. Nude is just my everyday color. It goes with everything. I can wear it with a brown lipstick. I can wear it with a pink lipstick. I can wear it with a nude for my skin lipstick. I can wear it with a red lipstick. Like I can just do anything with this one. And they come with the pencil on one end and a lip brush on the other. So if you don't want to use your fingers to rub it in, you can use the lip brush, which is oftentimes very convenient. And then we have the shade Buff, which is more pinky. And the weird thing about that is in the lip color serums, Nudie is the pink one and Buff is the more beige one. But in the lip liners, it's the reverse. Buff is more pink and then Nude, not Nudie, is more beige. So Nude is my favorite lip liner, but Buff is one of my favorite lip color serums. So Buff would be the perfect lip liner to pair with Nudie, and Nude would be the perfect lip liner to pair with the lip serum in Buff. Formula-wise, these are crazy good. They're criminally underrated and I've never tried anything like them. I've noticed that every lip product that Fitglow has falls into a similar experience of having some kind of like gel-like coating and something that kind of like plumps the lips. There's always some kind of creaminess and grip that their products have that make them long lasting and like occlusive and comfortable. But there's also that like creaminess and that like gel-like quality that is really beautiful. And the lip liners have that as well. There's some technology there that is just like really really, really wonderful to experience on the lips. And they are the kind of lip liners that set down a little bit. So when you draw them on, they're super creamy. Then they set a little bit so that they're long lasting, but they don't set down to something that like tattoos the lips, like my Citizen Cosmetics lip stroke, the Chanel and the Dior lip contours, the lip liners. Those are super creamy and then set down and like do not budge. So it's not like that kind of experience. It's actually very similar in formula, now that I think about it, to the Tower 28 one-liners. If you've tried those, these are very similar, but I think these are better. They're like a little bit more creamy. I find them a little bit more flattering on the lips, a little bit more easy to use. But if you've tried the Tower 28 one-liners, then you'll know a little bit of what this feels like. My next favorite product is their Foundation Plus. I forget off the top of my head, but this also has a very great evenly balanced shade range. This is $55 and my shade match is F2. And in the concealer, I'm in C2.5. This is the foundation version of the concealer, meaning it is full coverage. It is hydrating and plumping on the skin, almost a little bit blurring. But the difference being, because this is a product that you have to blend all over the skin, it is super, super stretchable and blendable. So you can just do like swipe, 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 blend away, and it blends like a dream. Since this launched, I haven't used it as much as I've wanted to because this has a dewy finish. And I prefer foundations that have a satin finish because I like to do a lot of really, really hydrating skincare layers underneath and a very occlusive moisturizer that's super hydrating. I do have dehydrated skin, even though it is combination, and I get oily throughout the day with makeup. So I do prefer a soft matte sunscreen and like a satin finish foundation. However, I recently figured out finally, after like a year, I don't know, something since they launched, that if I just wear a very light gel cream and then a soft matte sunscreen, this performs exactly like my satin finish foundations. So I'm wearing this all over my face today. And normally by this point, I would be super shiny in my T-zone. And I only have like a little bit here you can see coming from the foundation and my natural oils. But today I use the Peach Slices Snail Mucin Oil-Free Gel Cream, which is like the lightest moisturizer I've ever tried. And now I have finally gotten the foundation to perform like I want. So because it's so dewy, I just adjust my skincare underneath. But if you love a really dewy, hydrating, full coverage, but skin-like, blendable, slightly blurring foundation, then I think you'll really, really love this. And by the way, in case it wasn't clear, all of Fitglow's products are fragrance and essential oil free. The only thing is they do have some products that have a naturally occurring fragrance. A product I should have put before the foundation because it's a holy grail that is like an everyday staple of mine is the Bamboo Hyaluronic Acid Loose Setting Powder. This is $28. It is just like the finest, most wonderful powder I've ever tried. It is ultra, ultra blurring on the skin. It just makes your skin look super filtered. It's beautiful. You know, it has that super fine, like hyaluronic acid kind of feel. So it's very lightweight, very soft, silky on the skin. And a little bit goes a really long way. There are times when I would just like dunk my brush in and put it all over my face. And then my face was definitely left feeling a little bit tight, but it never looked cakey, which great. This does not give you a cakey face. But I would just say a little bit goes a long way. And in fact, I am getting a little bit oily in my T-zone. Let me zoom you in. So right here, I'm gonna blur that out. So much better compared to that. I just like this area to be a little bit more matte. Tap that off and then here, little here, and then right there. Good to go. Next up, another product with a large shade range. These are the Cloud Collagen Lipstick and Cheek Balms. They're $28. These are very interesting. Again, they have that Fitglow je ne sais quoi. They've got this creaminess, this like plumping feeling, but they also have this grip to them. It's amazing. But these are matte balms. So they do look matte on the lips, even though I think 2 of the shades actually looked a little bit kind of like satiny or dewy on my skin, but the rest were matte. I wouldn't say that I would reach for these when my lips are chapped. Like they're still a matte product, and I don't think that they like nourish or condition the lips like the lip serums do. Honestly, I would not reach for these if you do want like a real chapstick or lip balm, but I would reach for these if you want a very pigmented, like full coverage matte lipstick. And I'm just playing the B-roll of all of the shades that they have right now. You'll see that some of the shades are a lot lighter and, you know, are super, super pastel-y and definitely are not quite as flattering, not my kind of shades. And then there are some middle of the road shades, like there are some nice coral shades. There are a lot of really beautiful browns that I love. Those are definitely my favorite shades. And then they have some really, really deep ones that are super richly saturated, very, very deep, and have a ton of pigment. And what's interesting about these is they are in this chapstick form, which normally would be annoying because if there's something that's like very, very deep and is super, super pigmented, then I want a sharper bullet so that I can get a better line on my smaller lips, especially my Cupid's bow, which is a little bit sharp. But strangely, I don't have a hard time applying these. And I think it might be because the formula is so grippy, because it's not a really emollient, slippy formula. So it like slides outside my lip lines. It really just goes right where you put it. So even though normally this kind of like chapstick formula of a lipstick would really bother me, it actually kind of works in its favor. Something else that's notable about these is this is one of the only products I've found that actually does work really well on the lips and the cheeks. You know, so many times lip and cheek products are just like a really transparent balm that looks great on the cheeks but weird on the lips, or vice versa. I always find that products that are intended to be a lip product can be used really great on the cheeks, but products like their palette, like this cheek palette that's also a lip product, this doesn't work for me, but these work great on the cheeks. I think because they have that soft matte formula, they're much more long lasting, and these are super pigmented, so they just work great as a blush, versus like a lip cheek hybrid that's a balm. It's just gonna fade really quickly from my cheeks, but also look kind of weird and transparent on the lips. So these are a great multifunctional product. The only thing I don't like is I don't like the packaging. Like, I can get on board with it being rounded as a tip, but I just don't like the fact that it's like this, I don't know, aluminum kind of feeling. I don't love the feeling of them. I don't love the purple. I just feel like they look a little, I don't know, they just don't really align with my preferences. So I don't reach for them all the time, but my favorites are the shades Spice, Tea, and Buff, which are the 3 brown shades in the line. And by the way, these also don't have any kind of scent at all. Maybe just a little bit of like, you know, that kind of natural makeup like crayon scent. Okay, now we're gonna move into the products in the makeup category that didn't work for me. I have the multi-use Ceramide Cream Lip and Cheek Palette. This is $48 and it comes with 4 shades in the same formula. This is the color Fresh Picked. They also have one that is much more neutral and like nude, which is called Buffed Glow. We have the shades Watermelon, Sun Peach, Mauve Berry, and Fig. And I'm gonna show you what Fig looks like blended out on my cheeks today as a blush. Throughout the entire video, the only blush that I'm wearing is the shade Fig from this palette. Now, this is a lip and cheek formula. I just don't think that this particular formula looks really well as a multifunctional product. Like, I don't like the way it feels on the lips. It is nice as a blush, but I just am not a face palette person. My palettes are in different drawers, so, you know, psychologically, I just don't see them as much. I don't reach for them as much. But also, when I'm choosing a color to wear for my face, I need to like see that individual pan and color. And so if something's in a, that's something else I was gonna get to. If something's in a palette, then I'm just not gonna see it. But also another reason I don't like these is these fall out like crazy. So it is a magnetic palette. Oh no, where did it go? Mauve Berry. Oh, there you are. So they're very easy to pop in and out if you wanted to buy a bunch of shades and customize it. But honestly, as you'll see in the footage, when I was applying Fig, I kept like rubbing my fingers into it. And because it's a very kind of stiffer formula, it would just pick up the whole pan as I was rubbing it. So just like not my favorite formula, but I haven't used it in a while. That's why it was so stiff. Now that I've used it today, it's a lot more emollient, but it's just more of like a balm texture. And I really don't like the feeling of like dewy, sticky balms on my face, you know? So I'm just gonna add a little bit more here. Oh, see, again, I picked it up with my finger and it just entirely fell out. And so this is the kind of situation with Fitglow where I'm like, I get it. You wanna have 100% recycled plastic bottles. Like I get it. That's super, super admirable. But what you're also getting in return is kind of a shitty experience for the consumer, because this feels really cheap and also like the pans just fall out. So it's just not my vibe. It's not the thing for me. But if you love face palettes and you like balm textures on the skin, obviously you can see it is really pretty. It's not overly dewy. On the skin, it actually feels great and it performs beautifully. It does fade kind of quickly because it is a balm and balms are gonna fade. But for me, yeah, just not the kind of product I'd reach for. The Plant Protein Brow Gel, it's $28, and the only reason it didn't work for me is because they didn't have a shade. So the lightest shade is the shade Taupe from Fitglow, and it was like super, super dark. So for me, unfortunately, that didn't work. I wish they just had more shades and then it would be great. And And also the spoolie on the brow gel is basically like the Glossier Boy Brow. I don't like tiny little brow wands. I like much longer wands. Next are the vegan Good Lash mascara and the vegan eyeliner pencils. Those just like did not work for me. I haven't heard a single person who has had a good experience with those products. The vegan Good Lash mascara is $38 and you know, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't make my lashes longer, thicker, darker. It didn't hold a curl. It like made my lashes just like droop down, and it was also very difficult to remove. So for me, the mascaras are a pass, but they do come in a bunch of different colors. And then the vegan eyeliner pencil is $24. Those are very similar in formula actually to the lip liners, like super creamy, but their liners were so sheer they almost didn't show up. It was very, very strange. Like they're super creamy and then they would just like wipe away. So yeah, the eyeliners, the mascara for me, I think you can save your money there. This is my favorite concealer brush of all time. If I'm applying concealer in a video, this is what I'm using. What I like about it, I think, what's it called? The Vegan Teddy Concealer and Correct Brush. It's $32. I don't care. This could be $200, but it's my perfect brush because I could just use this forever, you know? It's just so good. Normally I wouldn't spend like a ton of money on brushes. I'm kind of cheap when it comes to that aspect, but I just freaking love this. Like this is so perfect for blemishes, or if I want concealer to just stay in a small part of my eyes, I use the smaller part. If I want to blend out my concealer, I use the fluffier part. I can really get a clean line here, blend all under my eyes. It is the perfect shape and it is so soft. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'll just put in a picture of it. It is the Flawless Finish foundation brush. It's $26 and it is super, super soft. It's angled. It's the perfect size for foundation. The only thing I don't like about it is that the handle's very heavy and it's also very short. So I kind of have to like grip it like a toddler. It can make my fingers feel a little bit tired because it's so heavy and it's kind of hard to grip. So if you have EDS like I have, or you have hypermobile joints or fingers, or you just have arthritis or something, that is, you know, something I would note about it. But other than that, it's a great foundation brush. My number one favorite skincare product from the brand is their cleansing oil. The makeup cleansing oil is $48. And if I had an unlimited budget for myself, or if I could just, you know, forever ask Fitglow to keep sending me backups, I would probably only use the Fitglow makeup cleansing oil for the rest of my life as a first cleanse product. I freaking love the experience of it. There's no raspberries in it, but it has this like what I feel is a raspberry scent. I think it's something else like pomegranate and watermelon extract or something like that. It is just so luxurious. It's like a thick, luxurious, but super spreadable cleansing oil that just breaks everything down. Makeup, sunscreen, dirt, oil. And it has that wonderful kind of like slight tart fruit scent. And then you just emulsify it and it takes everything off. And it's so wonderful. Because I wear thick mineral sunscreens and makeup almost every day, I run through cleansing balms and cleansing oils like that. And for me to keep repurchasing a $48 product, honestly, is just not really how I do things. I pretty much just keep repurchasing my Naturium cleansing balm or my e.l.f. Holy Hydration cleansing balm because they're just cheap and they're effective. They get the job done. But if I'm talking about my favorite experience of a first cleanse product, by far, it's the Fitglow cleansing oil, as well as the Pharmacy Green Clean cleansing balm. But, you know, both of those are a little bit on the pricier side. But if you're looking to give someone a gift or you want to indulge a little bit for yourself, that cleansing oil is honestly where I would start with skincare. I think it's fantastic. Another product that I absolutely love is the Vitamin Detox Cleanser, which is $44. Again, it has that same kind of tart fruit scent. It's a gel cleanser, but it feels very hydrating. It is absolutely not stripping at all. And it's the kind of cleanser that like feels gentle and it feels hydrating and soothing for sensitive skin, but it also actually does something. Like, you know, the CeraVe, what is it? The CeraVe, like the creamy cleanser. I feel like that does absolutely nothing. And a lot of cleansers can be like that. Or on the gel side, a lot of cleansers can just be super stripping. So this one's not. I love it. Again, if I had an unlimited budget, I would just repurchase that cleanser over and over again. Next is a newer one, and this is the Fitglow Birch Hyaluronic Electrolyte Quench and Calm Serum. Now this is $68, which is quite pricey. I mean, first of all, I really do love this formula. And it has a tiny, tiny hint of that, what is to me like a raspberry scent, but is, I think, pomegranate. It's a lovely hydrating serum. It's absolutely beautiful. It gets the job done, plumps the skin, looks amazing. I don't know about calming. I've never seen calming results from this. The only two products products I've ever tried that actually calm my skin are the Saatchi Pro Resilience Serum and the Tatcha Overnight Indigo Serum and Cream Treatment. That's it. So for me, as a calming product, I would say there are better options, but it is a beautiful serum. For me though, I just don't think that I need to personally spend $68 on a hydrating serum. There are just so many affordable options. So if you want to invest and you just want to try things from the brand, you need a new hydrating serum, I think it's a great product, but I don't think I can personally justify the price point for this one. A product I can justify the price of is the Fitglow C Ceramide Toning Mist. This is $38 and I have a little bit left. God, in the past year alone, I've been through maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 maybe bottles, maybe more, honestly, maybe more, of the Fitglow Ceramide Toning Mist. It's just like a bunch of ceramides. It's also in an eco-recycled aluminum bottle. So this has calming ceramides plus hyaluronic acid. It has green carrot stem cells, a seaweed infusion, and a lipid complex. That's it. Very, very simple. I just love using this as a mist. Actually, I don't know. I just kind of want to yeah, it's nice. It just feels really nice. There's no scent or anything. It honestly just feels like water when it's on your skin. And you know, a lot of times when I have reactive skin, I need products that are very, very simple. The more ingredients for my skin, the worse off I'm gonna be. So when my skin is reactive, what I'll do is I'll spray this all over my face and neck. Then I'll go in my Saatchi Pro Resilience Serum. Then I'll follow that up with the Tatcha Overnight Indigo Treatment. Boom, the next day, whatever sensitivity I have is either gone or almost gone. Next up, I have tried the 3-in-1 lip scrubbing mask. This is $36. This is like a hardcore skip in my opinion. First of all, I don't really ever need lip exfoliating products or like a lip scrubbing mask or anything like that. I find that the easiest way to exfoliate my lips, honestly, this sounds kind of weird, but literally just rubbing my finger on them, I can feel what I need to break up. I don't have that same result with scrubs. I don't have the same result with a washcloth. If I just like take my finger and like wet my finger a little bit, that's how I exfoliate my lips. I don't know if that's gross, but I find it to be the most effective thing personally, and hey, it's free. The lip scrubbing mask had a really nice scent. I feel like it was almost like bubblegum mint. That's not an intentional choice by them, I don't think. It just like happened to smell like that. But once you scrub it on your lips, when you wash it off, you're left with this like thick layer of wax that does not rinse off, and you would have to like take it off with a cleansing balm and like really work it into the lip. So that did not work out for me. And then the last skincare product I'm gonna review here is the Vita Shield Plum Hyaluronic Primer SPF 30. That's their only sunscreen and it retails for $44. I have a YouTube short, I think. I'll leave it linked on the screen above, or if it's not on YouTube Shorts, it's an Instagram reel and I'll put it above. Lovely formula, beautiful on the skin. It's like thin and it's all mineral, and you rub it in and your skin feels just like soft, but it's hydrated and it's plump, but it's not super dewy, and it's like a soft matte finish too. It's really beautiful. However, it leaves a very strong white cast even on my pale ass face. And it also doesn't have iron oxides, meaning it's not tinted. And I only wear sunscreens that have iron oxides. You know, it matches me better that way, and iron oxides protect against sun damage. When I wear sunscreens, even SPF 50 sunscreens that are not tinted, if they don't have iron oxides, I will still notice my hyperpigmentation on the tops of my cheekbones getting worse. I need to have those iron oxides in order to adequately protect against sun damage on my pale Irish skin. So unfortunately, the sunscreen didn't work for me. If they came out with that sunscreen in like multiple tinted shades, I'd be the first person to buy it. Okay, that's it. I thought I was gonna keep this video really short, but I think it's gonna end up being a long one. I hope that this was helpful to you. I tried to be as thorough as possible. I know these videos aren't very entertaining, but I really just try to provide as much detail as I possibly can so you can make the most informed decision for yourself as a consumer. And again, if you want to get 30% off of Fitglow, you can use my code 30KATE for 30% off your order from July 6th to the 12th.
Again, correction, it's July 6th to the 22nd.
And if you're watching this beyond those dates, no stress, you can still get 20% off with my code KATE20. So the code is 30KATE for the 30% off promo, or KATE20 for 20% off as a permanent coupon code. Whew, that was a long one. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you.